So we want to make sure that we are only allowed to hit when the animation, or we are not hitting already. So alright, let's do it. First and foremost, we need the timer. So we want to make sure that only for some certain amount of time I'm allowed to hit, and then after that I'm not allowed to hit. So what I mean is, once I hit with the X, there's gonna be a pause in between, that is say for some like 1 or 2 seconds in between. I cannot hit again, so by the time the animation will be done, and then I'm allowed to shoot, or sorry, hit again. So I'm gonna have public again. Why public is because we can tweak it later, right? If we don't have to tweak it, and it's essential that we hide it, so we're gonna have it in private, but now we need to tweak it. So it's gonna be basically the hit rate, and it's gonna be a float, obviously, since we're dealing with seconds. So it's good to be dealing with floats. Alright, the hit rate, it's gonna be, I don't know, just guessing here. We're gonna change it later. Again, we need something private that's gonna be acting as a counter. Private, or the timer is gonna be again float, but it's gonna be null, or simple as that, null. So this guy, I kept it private is because it's just acting as a counter. Alright, this hit rate is gonna be acting as a reference, so each and every time we're gonna set the counter limit as a maximum as hit rate, and then we'll start reducing the time as, say, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, time's up. And then now we need to go back to the maximum limit. Then we're gonna be referring to the hit rate once again. So that is the reason we need it, and we want to make sure that it is not tweaked. So that is the reason we want to have it private. So we need to add, actually we need one more variable, and that's boolean. Private var is hitting, not false string, just false. Yeah, we'll check to see. That's what I want to do. It is true, so this simply means that is hitting true. So this variable, we're checking that if we're not, alright, if we're not hitting with the X and the player then hits the left mouse button, only then allow him to hit. Otherwise, if we're already hitting, then there is no need of hitting it again. So we're checking to see is hitting is equals to true, then only allow him to hit. But in here, as soon as we hit, we want to make sure that is hitting is equals to true, because now we're hitting. So want to say is hitting, spelling hitting, yeah, is equals to true. Okay, so yeah, also one more thing I want to check is if is hitting. I'll explain to you what am I doing in here. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead, and if we the time when we hit, then the time when we hit, I want to take the timer. So the timer minus equals time, the delta time. This variable works as a second, so it's gonna be working as a second. So anytime or every time I'm decreasing the timer with the according to the seconds. So I'm gonna reduce that. Also, there's one more thing. I'm gonna then check to see if anytime the timer goes, say, less than or equal to 0, yeah, then we want to do is say if the time is up, then we want to do is just want to allow him to hit again. So it's hitting is equals to false, which means he's allowed to hit once again. Also, we need to set the timer back to its maximum value, so that another time or next time we could then be able to take the timer once again. So it's the hit rate, yep. So are we not missing something? I guess no. Initially this will be false, which means we're not hitting something, and that's what we're checking. If we're not hitting and we hit the left mouse button, allow him to hit, so it will go in here, we'll play the animation, we'll say that we're not allowed to hit anymore, and then all the process will go on. And at the same time, as soon as we're not allowed to hit anymore, this will start working. So we're checking that alright, we're not allowed to hit anymore. So let's take the timer and it will start the countdown, and as soon as the time's up, we're then allowed to hit the timer, and the timer is then set back to its maximum value. So again, we're then good to go for the next round. So hopefully no errors, I guess. Yep. Alright, save it, and hit rate, we might change it because I don't think so. 1 second is way too much. So if I'm hitting it, I think it's perfect. I'm just hitting it multiple times, but it only assign it right after the animation is done. And yeah, we need the sound effects right now, and I create an empty strike basically when we're hitting nothing that want to play this. All this package again, everything you see in here will be available, so from my website you can go ahead and grab it. So if I hit a human, then this is what I gotta be doing. Yeah, it's gonna be like, I don't know. So yeah, I created this, so I'm gonna go ahead and play them. So let's really get started with that. We need the audio, public war. I'm gonna have say empty, if that's the correct spelling of it, empty strike, audio clip, perfect. Want to have one more, public war. You could say the hit. No, the hit is already taken, so I can't use that. Just say hit. I'm gonna be audio clip. Right, we created two. You can add more sound effects you want. You can go for, like, I didn't add the sound effects for the metal. If I hit it with the metal, it will not gonna, you know, give that sound effects like hitting a metal or something like that. I just created two of them, so you can add as much as you want. So yeah, I have the empty strike. So when I want to play the empty strike is when I'm not, say, I'm hitting it in the air, I'm hitting nothing, only then. So again, if you know that this crap right here, if physics.raycast, this is what we're checking. If we really hit something, then do this. If we're hitting nothing, then we want to do this. So I'm gonna say else, I mean otherwise. If we hit nothing, that we want to do this. Want to simply play the empty strike effects. So I'm gonna say audio dot play one shot, and that's gonna be empty, come on, strike. That's what I spell up there. Let me check. Empty strike. Yep. Alright. I guess the size of the video, guys, was just going too long. I would have to divide them, so really hope you watch both of them. So yeah, so when we're hitting nothing, then want to play this. But if we're hitting something, say if we're hitting human, then we want to play the sound effects of it. So in here want to say audio dot play one shot, and that's gonna be the just simple as that hit. Alright, also one important thing, since we just said audio dot play one shot, the Unity is expecting that to whomever the script is attached, it should be having audio player. So just go ahead and, where is that audio source, add that. So take the play on awake, just keep it as it is. Now we need to fill this up. So empty strike, you can go for this or that. I think this is much better, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it. The hit, we have two. You can choose whatever you want, so it should be playing better by now. Alright, let's see. No, see, if I'm hitting nothing in the air, see, it's gonna play the empty sound. When I'm gonna hit this, nothing's gonna happen because I didn't set any conditions on it. So yeah, I could add it, but I'm gonna hit this guy, then you can hear the sound effect, right? So now we got everything going on, but here's one important thing remaining, and that's the realistic. Obviously it doesn't make sense when we're hitting, the blood is just going all over the place, why there's no blood drops on the screen, why there's no blood drop on the arm and all that stuff. So let's do that. There's a very clean, cheap little trick I came up with. Again, there's millions of ways you could just do something. Just find the main arm and go to its material, which is here. So the basic idea is we're going to be having two materials, and anytime we want to give that bloody effect, we will change the second material, that's the shared material, and then we'll turn him back to its original one. So we need to first create the materials. So let's go ahead and create materials, call it again, we're going to be having multiple material on the arm, material on the lantern, the blade, the handle. So we want to create multiple materials here. So I'm going to call it skin blood, maybe bloods. I already created one material, so just don't want to mess it up. Yeah, what you want to do is now, before doing any further, just the second material, just assign it. You can see that it's completely turned back to that. Right, so what we want to do is we want to come up here, change the shader to particles. You can choose any of them, multiply, double is good. Then you want to go to Google and over Google image and type in blood texture. Yeah, PNG alpha, doesn't matter, choose any of them, they will give you ultimately the same result. I don't know, my computer's just going slow today. Come on. Yeah, you can choose any of them. It's really bloody stuff right here. I don't know, you just go ahead and grab them. I already have mine, so I'm gonna look for it. I'll go to the texture in here, the material we created, and choose whatever you like, and just notice the result up here. So you can go with whatever you like. You can see the blood up here. It doesn't look good because we want to give a perfect effect. You can see it's looking good right here. This is what I actually want. This is not good. This is definitely good. You can go with that too. So I'm gonna go with this guy. Say if you like this up, really, what you could do is other thing. You can change the tiling. I'm gonna set it to 2. Now it's looking good right here, right? You can change the Y to 2 as well. You can play around with the tiling of it, but this looks perfect, and this is what I have in my game. So yeah, I think the blood, the shader, it's to be blamed. So I'm gonna change the particle to multiply. Yeah, that's looking good right now. Yeah, that's looking good. So you can change it. That is the trick here. So I'm gonna tell the Unity to, alright Unity, change that to the skin blood, but when I'm cool, I'm gonna change that back to it. So basically we're having two materials, and with the script we're gonna be changing this material back and forth. So we created the material for the skin. Let's go for the blade itself. Again, I have the two materials. If you click in here, you can see there's two materials, size 1 and 2. I'm gonna go ahead and create another material for the blade. I'm gonna call it blade blood. I don't know, doesn't matter. Oh, okay, just go ahead and assign them. Click, and blade blood. There you go, it changed. So just go ahead and change the shader to particles, multiply, and just assign the texture. Yeah, that looks good. Again, this is where the personal preferences comes in, so you can assign whatever you want to go with. Make sure it looks sensible up here. So this one is looking good because this is the part which is gonna go inside the human body or whatsoever. You can change the tiling to whatever you like. I think this one is better, so I'm gonna stick with this blade blood. It's perfect. But for now I'm gonna change it back to its original one, and I'll tell the unit to do it for me. So if you want, you can go ahead and also change the handles material too. So I'm gonna go ahead and create one. So that's how you do it. I've already created one, so which is this. You can see up here, which is looking good. Follows the same stuff. Even for the lantern, if you want to add as much detail as you want to, just make sure all this material are just size of 2. You can have 4, but we only want 2. So that was for the demonstration purpose there. But yeah, you can add it bloody, but it is not. Oh yeah, you wanna add it. If you look up here, it's not really giving that effect. You want to change it to some other blood right there. I'm gonna have blood, the one I created. You can see the blood up here. It's up to you, whatever you want to add it. So okay, so once we've got that, let me change that up first. This guy's material back to what. So alright, here's the important thing. How are we gonna do it with the help of scripting, right? We did it manually, but we need to do it through a script. Alright, one way I could think of is we're working with two variables. One, the original material that are applied to the object already. The another material that we want to apply occasionally. So we're gonna have variable again that's gonna keep track of both the materials, and we're gonna also be able to have to keep track of these game object to what I want to apply. So I'm gonna have three variables here: the original material, the bloody material, and the game object that we want to work with. And then simple as that, we just have to turn it on and off and all that stuff. So it's simple. Let's go ahead and do that. So definitely we want this actually want to have private or public. This is your choice now. Private war. I'm creating the variables for the game object, so I'm gonna have to have the one for the arm, one for the blade, one for the handle, one for the lantern. So total 4. So I'm gonna just quickly do that. I'm gonna say skin. Just say my skin is gonna be game object. Similarly, create another one. I'm gonna call it my blade. You can name it whatever you want. It's just, I'm just naming it because I have to. Again, private war. Now you can make that public too, but I think it's good for me to have it private, and then private war. And what remaining? Yeah, my lantern is gonna be a because the length of the video is already just about hour or so. Anyway, so we got this. Now again, these objects are empty. We need to assign them. There's a reason why I made it private. I cannot do it through the inspector here. That's what you call it. I don't know. I'm gonna do it through the script. Once again, I'm gonna say my skin. I would have to search it. What's up? Unity. Alright. The arm. Okay, got it. I'm gonna search it with the name. So I'm gonna say game object dot find. I'm gonna name it the arm because that is what the game object's name is. If I check it up here, the arm and the blade. Come on, Unity, what's up? Yeah, X blade, X handle. Yeah, I got the names, so I'm gonna quickly do that. I'm gonna go over to my blade is equals to game object dot same concept up here. I'm just saying, just find that object for me, and the blade name is X blade. Alright, let me check it. Yeah, X blade, X handle. I apologize to copy and paste it, but I gotta do it. My handle, because the video is going too much wider. Alright, my handle. Oops, man, my handle is gonna have my handle now. My lantern. So my lantern is gonna have, what do I name the lantern actually? Let me click that object. Yeah, my lantern. You can change the name according to it. I had my lantern. You can have whatever you want. I'm gonna say my lantern. Perfect. Now we got these variables. Now want to assign them. It's gonna be quite difficult. Hang on tight, guys. I'm gonna be having actually functions that's gonna do it for me. So I'm gonna call it function. I'm gonna say get original material. This function right here is gonna get all the original material for that, but I need to also create the materials of it. So again, I'm gonna have private war. You're gonna have two materials. That's the original material, so I'm gonna call it O skin. I don't know. I'm gonna call it skin material. It's gonna be of type material. Oh my god, I'm gonna quickly copy and paste them 4 times because we need that 4 times, and I'm gonna name it blade material. Again, these are original material, so uh, handle material, and I'm gonna have lantern material. I'm gonna, just for my understanding, original materials, right? All right, original materials appear, so I have it now. This function right here, get original material, it's really gonna assign all the original material to this object, because these these variable are gonna hold all the original material. So starting with the skin material, I'm saying skin material, and all the material that we create are currently empty, so we're gonna assign them. So skin material is equals to, how I'm gonna assign that is I'm gonna be accessing the same object. Like if I want to assign this object's material, I'm gonna have to access the same object. So we have that in the variable, which is my skin, my blade. Alright, my skin dot game object dot render. We want to access the render of it that contains the material of it. Material, that's it, we got its material. Now want to go over for the blade material is equals to, you know what, I have to copy and paste the same stuff again 4 times. Wow. Alright, let me just change the material name to blade material, handle material. Handle material and the lantern material. Oops, handle material with H capital, I mean lowercase, lantern. Alright, I hate to copy and paste it, guys, but gotta do it anyway. So what I did was I added the skin material, I accessed this object, my skin, I access its object into its render, and then material, I assign the material to this. So similarly, I'm gonna say my blade, I'm gonna call it my handle. That's what I name up there, by the way. So my lantern. Yep, I'm gonna just double show it once again. Yeah, my handle, my lantern, my blade. Alright, so this is gonna get all the original variable, but we need the bloody variables too, so do not forget that. So I'm gonna have, actually I can't have that private, I want to make it public so I can assign him. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it public, really public war. It's gonna be skin blood, you name it, whatever, just don't get confused. It's gonna be of material to material. Yeah, I'm gonna have the same for the blade blood. I'm gonna have same for handle blood. I'm gonna have same for the lantern. I don't know, guys, this is the way you do it. It's kind of messy and tedious, but bear with me, guys, it's simple as that. Alright, so I'm gonna have one more functions in here, and that's gonna get the bloody material. So I'm calling bloody over and over again. Bloody material. Alright. Interestingly, you know, it's gonna go the same way. Alright. So here's what I'm gonna be doing. Let me just see, all the variables are here or not. Yep, you get the materials up here. Alright, so I need to assign those material. I'm gonna go over to blood, the skin blood, remember, that's what it's gonna be. So skin blood, bloods, this is what I just created. Alright, and then for the blade, I created blade blood. Yeah, what's this one? Maybe handle blood was just trans blood, and even for the lantern it was trans blood, maybe, I don't know, just go ahead and assign skin blood, maybe, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we have all the material set it up. The bloody material, we don't have to worry about the original material because they are already assigned to them, and the script will find already, and that's what we are doing in here, right? We're getting all the material, original material, we're storing them into one variable, and we're having the other bloody materials, and we're actually assigning them manually, which is we did right now. Alright, so then we're gonna be playing around with them. So once we got all the original material, we don't have to have get bloody material, we just got those material. We need to have a function that will keep changing its material. So It's gonna be like what, um, 2 blood. Again, you can name it whatever you want to name it. I just did what came in my mind. So 2 blood is gonna change these objects material to bloody material. So yeah, let's access the skin first. So my skin is a game object, by the way. Dot game object dot render dot, this is important. Now we're changing the shared materials. Now why shared material is because there's 2 material, all right, and we need to change the other material, and that's going to be referred to as a shared material since these 2 materials are sharing the same game object. So it's going to be shared material, and want to assign them the bloody material we created. So what I named it, here, skin blood, blade blood. All right, skin blood. Alright, similarly we're gonna be doing the same stuff for the my blade dot game object dot render dot shared material, not materials, that's gonna be something else. A shared material, we just want to access one material, so I'm gonna call it so blade blood. Thank you. Similarly I'm gonna do the same stuff up here. This one is my handle, if I'm not wrong. It's gonna be my lantern. Yep, and the blood material I want to have is handle blood. Thank you, I already have it. Lantern blood, yeah, perfect. So we once turned it into bloody. Now say we turned it into bloody mode, right? We want to turn back to its original material. Alright, now this function is gonna assign these objects material. Okay, I spelled it wrong, sorry. Okay, so now we made it a way which will convert this game objects material to bloody material, but now we need to, you know, create a metal that will get back its original to, I don't know, to original. Interestingly, we're gonna be using the same statement, but this time we won't be assigning the bloody material, but instead we're gonna be assigning the original material. So I really hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying in here. So skin material is original material in here, so skin material, and this is blade material, and this is handle material. Alright, we created the function, we need to call them. So alright, at the very beginning, so this is how it's gonna go. Alright, at the very beginning we will keep track of our game object, I mean basically these models to of which materials we're gonna be changing. So at the beginning we did that, but as soon as we hit the object, the human, so obviously blood will have to be dropped in our hand or something like that. So here exactly in this block of code, I wanna, so in here I wanna basically change the material. So I'm gonna call 2 blood, so it's gonna say 2 blood. So this will basically call this, which will in turn make all the game object bloody, and then I would have to turn back to normal. But when I want to do that, let me think. After a few seconds, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna say yield, or actually I wanna, right after that I wanna call to original, but alright, to original, thank you. So what am I doing here in this method? I'm just quickly changing my game object to bloody, but again I'm just quickly making it original. So the to original method I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna say, oops, yield, wait for seconds. I'm gonna say like, now that what am I saying is this, alright, let me just go ahead and do this. I'm gonna have public war, not this much. So what am I having is I'm gonna be having a heal time. That's gonna heal it. So I'm saying it is this: as soon as I hit an enemy or human, I'm gonna be changing my game object, that is these models, material to blood, and then I'm calling this to original method or function, which is gonna first and foremost wait for about like 7 seconds or 5 seconds in this case, and then we'll turn back to original material. So it should be working fine. Let me see. Yep, let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, if I hit this hit this human, you can see the blood all over me. It's gonna go about like after 5 seconds. If you look at this one more time, you can see there's a blood on arm, the handle, blade, but there's still one thing missing, and the blood is not on the camera. So this is again a neat little trick for that too. What am I gonna do is I'm gonna add blood onto my camera. So this is the way I'm gonna do it. There are multiple way. Once again, but I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna have a cube right now. I'm gonna call it bloody screen. By the way, if you guys are using Unity indie version, not this professional version, you might be wanting to have some image effects like a blurry effect you want to give. This is the way you could do them. So you just need to first and foremost take out the box collider or any collider. Just make sure it's plain. I'll reduce that up to about make sure it's 100% covered right now. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new material. I'm gonna name it bloody screen same. I'm gonna assign this over to this game object, and I'm gonna change it back to particles, additive soft multiply, or whatever you want to go with. Multiply. You can see it's completely transparent now. Now I'm gonna add the blood to it. So just go ahead and add the bloody texture you want to add. You can see you can add this, you can add that, you can add whatever. But you know what? See, if you add it all over the screen, it's not gonna look great. All right, so what you want to do is you want to have this blood, but somewhere around the corner of them, and not completely in the middle of the screen, because it's quite difficult for the player to then play. So you want to also look into that. You can add this. Maybe that's what I did, right? Yeah, you want to have it up here. So now it looks better. You see that? I'm gonna keep it up here. Now another important thing is you want to have it you want to make this bloody screen the child object of the camera, so it will follow every time. And there's one last thing needed, just the last thing, and that's gonna be this. This game object is enabled every time, right? We want to make it enabled only when we're hitting it. So most of the time it will be disabled, and it will be enabled only when we're hitting any human or someone else. So you can make it private, you can make it public. If you make it public, you want to drag it manually, so you want to call it bloody screen. I'm gonna call it game object. Yep. All right, so bloody screen at the very beginning, at the as soon as the game starts, you wanna game object dot set active is equals to false. You wanna disable them. All right, but you want to enable them only when you hit a human. So you want to enable it inside the to blood. So where's the to blood method? Yeah, right there. You want to enable them. All right, so just make it true. All right, so now you've enabled them. You want to disable them back. So I'm gonna disable them back in here. That is to original. So again, I'm gonna call it false. So now it should be working fine. Just want to go ahead and drag the, where the hell is that bloody screen? Yep, drag it, and as soon as the game started, it will be disabled. Yep. Now I'm gonna go ahead and hit this guy, and this poor little guy, bam, you can see the effect, and it will go away after 5 seconds. You can increase or decrease the time of him. Now yeah, in the future I'm gonna be making more of this video. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.